Hey everybody, it's Lo and welcome back to my channel, Lo Without Limits. Today's video is all about me starting keto. So if you want to see that, then just keep watching. So if you saw last week's narcolepsy Q&A video, you'll know that I was asked a few times if I had tried keto to reduce my narcolepsy symptoms. And I have not, but my boyfriend has actually done it and he's really been wanting to get back into it. So I figured, why not give it a shot? And it's something that he and I can do together, him so he can feel better and just have more mental clarity, especially while he's studying for a test coming up. And then me, so I can just give it a shot to see if it does reduce my narcolepsy symptoms. So I did some research on how keto may affect narcolepsy. If you know anything about narcolepsy, one of the main triggers and some of the research behind it is that your body basically doesn't produce or attacks its own orexin production. Orexin is like that sleep-wake hormone, so when you have more of it, your sleep-wake cycles are regulated. Your circadian rhythm is regulated. When you are eating carbs, just eating like a standard diet, if you have a lot of carbs, if you have a higher blood glucose level, that actually turns orexin off and your sleep-wake cycle just doesn't work, you're more tired, it leaves you feeling sluggish, and it actually happens a lot in people without narcolepsy. So when you eat a lot of carbs, if you have like a lot of pasta or something, and you just feel like really sluggish and tired after, it's because it is just slowing down that production in your brain. So if you have fewer carbs in you, then your orexin can be revved up more, that production can be revved up more, and it will keep you awake. I'm going to see if that actually works, mostly so I can see if maybe I don't need to take my second medication in the day, or I can go a full day without taking either medication and still have a pretty productive day and still have energy. I probably won't be the same as I am on my medication, but if I could go a full day without taking one or both of my medications and still do a lot of things, then that would be pretty great. So I'm going to describe keto a little bit more and how I'll be doing keto and easing my way into it with my boyfriend. But I just want to give the really quick disclaimer that I'm not a doctor, I'm not a dietitian, I'm not a nutritionist. Like I've said in all my other narcolepsy videos, I'm just a girl with narcolepsy trying to figure it out. So if you do have any big questions, if you want to read more research on it, definitely go find more reputable sources in those fields. What is keto? Keto is when your body goes into ketosis, which usually happens when you have a high fat diet and very low carbs. 20 net carbs is about the max for the standard keto diet. So when you're eating a regular diet, your body is getting its carbs and it's using it as instant energy, and then whatever leftover carbs you have, it's storing for later. But if you keep having carbs for like their instant energy and everything, all those other extra carbs will turn into fat. And it's not the cleanest source of energy for your brain. Your brain uses like most of your calories. So if you're getting all those calories from carbs versus fat, then typically the carb calories aren't the best for your brain, especially if you're somebody with narcolepsy. The keto diet is high fat, moderate protein, and low carbs. It's about 20 net carbs per day, and net carbs are when you take the carbs of something and subtract the fiber. So say something's 10 grams of carbs, but it's 8 grams of fiber, then net carbs of that item will be 2 carbs. What that's supposed to do is your brain will use the fat as energy, as a cleaner resource of energy to run off of, and you won't store all of that. Fat won't turn into fat. It's just much better for your body. And also doing keto for narcolepsy, since carbs do turn off that orexin and make you more tired, I think for myself, the way I'm going to do it is try to have a lot of higher fat foods for breakfast and for lunch and save the net carbs that I do eat for dinner time. That way it can turn off that orexin and allow me to have a better sleep, because that is something that people who have done keto say is that it makes it really hard to go to sleep at night just because your brain is so much more awake and just working so much better, and that since you have such great energy and such sustained energy that it actually makes it harder to fall asleep. So for those net carbs and for any carbs that I do eat, I'm going to try to keep them later in the day, and then my fats and then the protein throughout, but the fats more in the morning to give me that sustained energy, and then have the carbs at night so I can go have a deep restful sleep and balance that out for my narcolepsy and just give me the best energy as it possibly can. There have also been a ton of studies on keto saying that also helps with diabetes, epilepsy, cancer, and Alzheimer's. You can do more research on those. But one thing that I must say about all this research and a lot of research surrounding keto is that a lot of it is done on men, because men just have their 24-hour circadian rhythm every single day for them is the same, hormone wise, versus for women, we have our circadian rhythm, but we also have our basically the menstrual cycle. There's like some other term for rhythm for that. Every single day our hormones are fluctuating. So some people say that keto isn't as great for women as the research may say, because when you really look at it, a lot of the participants in these studies are men. So that is something to keep in mind, and that my cravings and my hormones and just different ways to feed my body will change throughout my cycle. And actually I have a whole video on how to eat for your cycle and for the different phases of your cycle. So I will still be implementing foods from that to kind of keep my cycle going and to be good to my body in the day-to-day rhythm, but also for my body for its whole month cycle. So just kind of balancing out those two. I'm still going to eat a lot of cruciferous veggies because those are really good for estrogen detoxification and just keeping your liver nice and healthy, so your hormones can be much better balanced throughout the month. Also, another little thing with keto is that a lot of people eat keto and eat the keto diet, but to actually know if you're in keto, in ketosis, you need to have your blood glucose levels checked, and you can do that with like a blood prick thing just to see if you're actually in keto, because you can eat keto, you can be eating high fat, low carb, but your body might not actually be in ketosis, and there are different reasons for that. Maybe although you're eating 20 net grams of carbs, maybe that's still too many for your body. Maybe you're eating too much protein or too much of a certain thing. So not everybody's body reacts to that keto breakdown the exact same way. You actually have to test if you're in ketosis to know if you're doing keto properly. So I might pick up one of those and test myself just to see if I actually am in ketosis, and if one, the diet is actually putting me in ketosis, and so I can see if my symptoms are getting better because I'm in ketosis, or if maybe they're not getting better but I am in ketosis. It'll just kind of give me more factors to work with and to look at when seeing how I'm feeling in terms of my narcolepsy. But I will do that starting later. Both my boyfriend and I are almost gonna do a little bit of carb cycling. We're gonna do mostly keto eating, where it's the high fat, low carb to start with, but we're going to have maybe like once a week, like a higher carb day. Actually, I am shooting a video with him soon about gluten-free pretzels, so like that will be a higher carb day. I'm definitely going to ease my way into keto, and I think that's the best way. One, because I've never done keto before, he has, but I've never done keto, so I don't want to just throw myself fully into high fat, low carb and almost like freak my body out, because a lot of times when people do that, that's what leads to the keto flu. And the keto flu is just when there might be like a few days or like a week where you're just so sick, your brain is so foggy, you're feeling lethargic. It's literally all the opposite that you expect from doing keto. And that's just because your body's switching over its energy processes and getting used to this different way of eating, and you just feel horrible. You think you have the flu, and then once that passes, you have the sustained energy, your brain is much clearer, but it takes like, there's like this 4-day period where you're just like, I'm dying. And I feel like right now in these social times, don't want to have the keto flu. It ain't a good look. You know what I mean? So again, I'm going to carb cycle, and then I feel like that would also make it a bit more sustainable as well. And then if I do keto and I see some improvements, then maybe I could maybe not do keto and incorporate a few more carbs, just so it's a bit more sustainable for me long term, but still see if I feel that improvement in my symptoms. It also helps balance the insulin levels, since you're not getting that carbs and like that blood sugar roller coaster every single day where you have like highs and then you crash at like 3 p.m. because of morning carbs. So it should help out with that. And I did the 23andMe test. I talked about that in my last video as well. And it also tests for genetic factors to see if you're if you have any predispositions towards something in the future. My grandma on my dad's side did have type 2 diabetes, and in my 23andMe results they said that I am at an increased risk of potentially developing that at some point in my life just because of genetic factors. And I feel like continuing to eat a higher carb diet doesn't help that, especially with the blood sugar, and just to regulate all of that, get my insulin levels even, and live a more sustainable, higher fat version in my life, I think would definitely benefit me. That way I never do develop type 2 diabetes like my grandma. And some foods that I will cut out are just sugary foods. So soda, not a big soda drinker in general. The hard part for me will be ice cream. Austin, my boyfriend, there's this keto ice cream that he'll get sometimes, and it tastes just like so dry and chalky. It's the grossest ice cream, but he's like, well, I'll eat it because it's keto. That's not worth it to me. If that's the only ice cream I can eat, I would rather not. It's not good. Candy, that's the hard part for me. I have such a sweet tooth. Ugh. Grains or starches, which I don't really eat anyway. I suppose sometimes I'll pick up like cereal and things like that, but I'm already gluten-free. Some fruits. I was actually at Whole Foods yesterday and I really wanted to get a peach, and I texted Austin. I was like, are peaches keto? And he was like, only berries really. And I was like, okay, I won't get the peach. But I like strawberries. I love strawberries. So I'm excited that I can still have those. Cutting out beans and legumes, which again, I don't eat a lot anyway. I do eat a lot of chickpeas. I like roasting chickpeas, making hummus. The little hippies chips, the hippie snacks, absolutely love. So those will be sad to cut out because I love them so much, but they are high carb. Root vegetables and tubers, so like sweet potatoes, I'm sad to see go. I just like sweet potatoes. Low fat and diet products, which I don't really eat anyway. Some condiments and sauces. I'm gonna go through a lot of my sauces to kind of see what's higher in carbs, because a lot of them will have added sugars, and those added sugars are carbs. So this morning I actually put a little bit of the peri peri mayonnaise, on my scrambled eggs, and I looked and it's 2 grams of carbs for 3 tablespoons, which is a pretty big serving of mayonnaise. So that made me very happy. Just unhealthy fats, which I don't really eat anyway, like vegetable oils, soybean oils, canola oils, like all the gross oils. I usually cook with avocado oil anyway and use a lot of olive oil or even coconut oil. Mayonnaise, I have avocado oil mayonnaise by Primal Kitchen, so I can still use that one. And then alcohol, because a lot of them are higher in carb, except for White Claw, so like. And a lot of people, when they think of keto and keto meals, it's just like meat and bacon and cheese, which is really gross to me. Like, that does not sound good. Like, I love meat and I'll eat a little bit of cheese here and there. I don't love a ton of dairy. I just don't love how I feel on it. And if I eat way too much, I see it in my skin. But it's like hard to completely cut out dairy while dating Austin. So hard. So I will have a little bit of cheese here and there. Like, I love putting feta cheese on like my Greek salads and everything. So I will have a little bit of cheese, but I'm not gonna be that keto person that's just eating like cheese and meat and bacon. That would make me feel much worse. But I still will have like a little bit of cheese, because again, hard to avoid with Austin. So what I will eat, so for keto you can do moderate protein, and right now I'm just gonna eat like the same amount of protein, which is like protein with every meal, like eggs in the morning, protein for dinner, and then like a little something for lunch. I don't know, a decent amount of protein. And then when I do get back into the gym right now, I think they're open, but it's like, I don't know, it just seems gross to me. But when I do get back into the gym and like lifting weights and like actually working out hard versus just in my living room, I will up my protein a little bit just so I can gain muscle back, since I've lost all of that during quarantine. Moderate protein, based on some things that I saw, is about 35% of your caloric intake can be protein. And what's good about protein, like carbs, is only 4 calories per gram versus fat, which is 9 calories per gram. So 35% of your caloric intake coming from protein is still a decent amount of protein in comparison to fat, since protein is essentially half of the calories that a gram of fat is. If you follow me on Instagram, also at Low Without Limits, then you saw my stories the other day when I did go to Whole Foods and did a little haul of what I picked up, and I'll be posting a lot of my meals on my feed and everything. So very excited to just like have more salads and more greens, because you can eat greens and vegetables because the fiber content of it will negate the carb number, so the net carbs are still lower, except for like the very starchy ones like potatoes. But what I will eat and incorporate is still meat, and also meat with like a bit higher fat. So typically when I'm getting like my ground turkey, I'll get the 99% lean ground turkey. Or if I'm getting chicken, I always get chicken breast because it's like a leaner piece, and I just like love the lean white meat. But now I can actually get maybe like the turkey that's 93% lean and 7% fat, or the chicken wings or thighs that are a bit higher fat and just a lot more juicy as well. They actually cook much better. So now I can, when I do go buy the same meats that I was buying before, just buying ones that aren't as lean and just kind of like the fattier cuts of the meat. Also eggs, I'll probably be having eggs every single day for breakfast, just because you can do so much with an egg. Like, it's really hard to go wrong. This morning I actually made this egg scramble, so I put mushrooms and red onion, sauteed those a bit in the pan, threw 3 eggs in there and scrambled them up, had half an avocado on the side, put a little bit of that mayonnaise on there, and then some salt and pepper. And like, it's so high protein, the avocado is a good fat, and it's a super low carb meal, and it's so filling and so good. You can just do so much with eggs. I also threw a little bit of basil in there. Like, oof, whenever I put basil on things, I feel like such a chef. Butter and cream, again, probably not gonna be going hard on the cream just because I don't love how I feel with dairy. Butter, like Austin, I will make food and put like avocado oil in the pan and be making something, and he's like, did you add the butter? He's from the South. So big butter boy. Cheese, again, not going hard on the cheese. but I'm still going to have some cheese, especially if you have really clean cheese. So like looking for organic, for pasture raised, all the good stuff, like good cheese. I'm not gonna be buying Kraft singles. That's not real cheese. So only good cheese and not a ton of cheese, but still cheese. Nuts and seeds, almonds, walnuts, flax seeds, which I'll put on like everything. Same with pumpkin seeds. I put that on salads like all the time. It's just an easy way to get fiber in and not a ton of carbs. Pumpkin seeds, chia seeds, all those things, which like I just love doing. I also would make these little like coconut yogurt cups with like flax seeds, chia seeds, hemp seeds, pumpkin seeds on top, mix it up, leave it overnight. It gets nice and chunky. Ooh, throw some blueberries on top because you have blueberries. That sounds great. Cocoa, I need to go pick some of that up. Avocados, duh. Healthy oils, like olive oil. I actually just bought Brightland. That should be coming this week. I'm so excited. I've been wanting it for so long, like probably for a year. I've just been like looking at it and I'm like, oh, one day, one day, one day. Finally bought it. So excited for it to come. Oh, I just love just laying olive oil on everything. So excited for that. And I usually cook a lot with avocado oil or the avocado oil spray when I'm roasting veggies, just because it makes a little bit less of a mess. So having good, healthy oils. You can eat low carb veggies like leafy greens, so a lot of salads, especially because it's still summer. And when it's summer, I just love a salad more than any other time of the year, and just like throwing things in there. Tomatoes. I just posted a salad that was arugula, tomatoes, prosciutto, which is like a nice fatty meat, some burrata, again, a good clean cheese, making sure you buy like organic, all of the buzzwords, red onion, and then olive oil and balsamic vinegar on top. Onions, peppers, just all the good ones. I mean, they're all good. I love veggies. But like cauliflower, you can do so much with cauliflower. A buffalo cauliflower, which I actually have a video for. I'll have that linked down below. You can do cauliflower steaks if you like slice them thin, or I might do like a cauliflower. I'm gonna try to make it thin and almost get like toasty in the oven so I can use it as like a sandwich maybe. I'm gonna give that a try. See if I have that idea in my head. I don't know if it will actually work. Just cauliflower rice, doing like a cauliflower fried rice, which I've had a post on and actually a video for from way back in the day. Mashed cauliflower. Cauliflower just like doesn't have a flavor. It's one of those things that you can do anything with, whereas it's like the same texture as broccoli, but broccoli has like a broccoli flavor, you know what I mean? But cauliflower is cool. But you have to flavor it or else it's just like cauliflower, you know? By eating whole foods and snacking on whole foods, also a good snack that I've been making are these celery sticks, and then this cream cheese, but it's not cream cheese, it's based with avocado milk. So it's super low carb, high fat. It's just like a plain cream cheese. It doesn't taste 100% like cream cheese though, I'm not gonna lie. And then I put the everything but the bagel seasoning on top. Such a good snack. Low carb, it was filling, it was great. By eating whole foods and focusing on whole foods, it's very easy to go keto, of course, like excluding taters and everything, but it's super easy to go keto if you focus on real foods. You're not like eating out or just buying junk. So snacking, I feel like might be my hardest part, and like my sweet tooth, I love sugar, and like a lot of sugary things are higher in carb because that's what sugar is, it's carbs. But maybe if I just like reduce my sugar intake, reduce all the sugar that I'm eating, then I won't crave it as much. So that's also something that I would like to see out of this little experiment, is my narcolepsy symptoms improve, and maybe I just like don't crave sugar as much as I do, because I'm always just like, oh, snack, 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 which is an issue. So I hope you got some good tips from this video, all about what keto is, what you can and cannot eat, what I'm expecting from doing keto, and hopefully you got some recipe ideas as well. I can't wait to share more of my recipes, some what I eat in a day, and just how I'm feeling, and updating you on keto and my narcolepsy symptoms. So if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you've tried keto before, what your favorite keto recipes are too. I'm very open to trying some new things and just experimenting a little bit more with my cooking, and what you want to see more of on my channel. And while you're there, be sure to subscribe. I upload a new video every Wednesday. So until the next one, thanks for watching.